Right now on Denver 7 News at 7 o'clock on Local 3, how the weekend storm could actually fuel future fires.
Get ready for a messy ride or walk if you take the Cherry Creek Trail. Officials are getting ready for the annual flush. Plus,
it was Nichushkin, lost it. Nazem Kadri scores! It's a hat trick for Kadri.
Yeah, not even Hollywood could have scripted this any better. Nazem Kadri scores not once, not twice, but 3 times after facing threats from Blues fans. And because he did not back down, the Avs are a win away from advancing. We do have some breaking news to start, though, of a police shooting along I-70.
Yeah, this is impacting traffic along I-70 east of Denver near the town of Watkins. We know the suspect is in critical condition right now. We don't know if the officer involved in this was injured. We are working to get that information. Let's get over to traffic expert Jason Luber, though, because the interstate is seeing some backup there, Jason.
Oh, yeah, about a mile of a backup right now as folks are trying to make their way around it. So this is the area we're talking about. Here's E470 right there. Here's Powhatan Road right here. And then this is the little road of Air Park. And this is where we've seen I-70 closed down for when we have bad storms out to the east. This is where usually eastbound I-70 gets closed down. And the detour actually takes you along the little frontage road, which is Colfax Highway 36. Takes you right up into the town of Watkins, goes down the little spur back here to I-70, and then off you go. That detour route is going to take you about 10 minutes. Once you get to it, it's going to take a lot longer just because traffic is now backed up in that area. You could actually exit E470, take the frontage road over to Air Park, and then work your way around that detour right now. From the camera over there, you can actually see how traffic is now starting to back up here at Powhatan. So it's going to be a delay, unfortunately, for these folks. It's usually about 2 or 3 minutes through there, and now it's going to be much longer. The rest of the drive is pretty standard for you here this morning. No other big problems here in town. You can see some of the heavier traffic here and there. Coming up in just a minute, I'll take a look at the High Country Drive because, Lisa, we've had closures of I-70 up in the Eisenhower Tunnel, Silverthorne area, but traffic is starting to ease up there right now.
Yeah, it's snowing just days before, well, the start of the holiday weekend. We're looking at some pretty wet conditions out west. Right now at 7:02, you can see a little mix of sun and clouds here in town. Temperatures are at this point in the low 40s for the most part. We're going to see, well, temps about 20 degrees below normal today. Skies will clear out tonight, and then we're going to be near 90 by Friday. So there is a big change on the way here within the next 24 hours. We're going to see temperatures climb rapidly. Tomorrow, closer to 70. Hourly planner right now puts us at about 50 degrees here between 11 and 12, and then we'll hit highs right around 55 to near 57 degrees. So it's going to be a cool, soggy day today. More scattered showers possible this afternoon. 30s and 40s, you guys, in the mountains. Coming up, we'll take a look at that big weekend warm-up.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, we do have some good news about 2 wildfires burning across our state right now. Firefighters say the Sims fire near Montrose on the western slope is now 100% contained, although it burned more than 300 acres and destroyed 1 home. U.S. Forest Service officials said over the weekend a prescribed burn near Ouray might have started that fire.
Also, the Pagosa Springs fire, the Plumtaw fire, is 51% contained after burning more than 700 acres. Firefighters do not think this one will be fully contained till July. The cause of that is still under investigation. And as we know, the weekend snowstorm brought some great moisture to our state, but experts say it made fire conditions even more complicated.
Yeah, Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us from Boulder this morning, where law enforcement has rolled back fire restrictions, but the storm damage has also led to more fire fuels.
That's what wildfire experts are saying because of the damaged trees and branches. This week, though, Boulder has rolled back on its stage 1 fire restrictions, as you guys mentioned, because of the rain and snow. These restrictions had been in place since April, and they banned things like open burning and use of fireworks, though open burning is never allowed within Boulder city limits. The sheriff says the weekend storm dampened fire fuels enough that it is now safe to drop that burn ban. And even though the weekend storm brought us much needed moisture, wildfire experts tell the Denver Post that the precipitation tends to be a, quote, double-edged sword, since it also likely increased the number of dead trees, branches, leaves, and other plants. And once those dry, they could fuel wildfires quickly. And another concern is that damaged trees can also lead to downed power lines. So since we could possibly be seeing more wildfire fuels across the state, it's important for cities and counties to pick up those trees quickly and responsibly. Live in Boulder this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Well, right now the Forest Service is suspending prescribed burns across the country because of the extreme fire danger and unfavorable weather conditions. The agency will conduct a review ahead of planned operations in the fall. Meanwhile, cities here are starting to decide whether or not they'll have 4th of July fireworks with our increased fire risk. Today, Broomfield is expected to approve a permit for its display from Broomfield County Commons. Firefighters will help prepare the fallout area below the fireworks to help minimize the danger.
Heads up if you plan to go out for a walk or bike ride along the Cherry Creek path today. Denver 7's Veronica Costa joins us to explain why it could get pretty messy out there. Veronica.
Yeah, the Cherry Creek bike path probably looks normal right now, but it's going to look completely different by the end of the day. And that's because you said it. It's flush day, meaning the path will be flooded later on. So this does happen every single year. It's the day officials release more water from the Cherry Creek Dam to go ahead and test the operation of the outlet gates. The flush itself, it starts at 9 this morning, goes all the way up until 1 in the afternoon. Now this area not going to flood right away. It does take about 6 hours for the water to reach the Champa Street Bridge downtown. And you see it in this video why this is such an important message. If you walk or you ride your bike to work and you use the Cherry Creek bike path to get there, that path could be flooded between 11 and 9 tonight. It could also be a little dangerous as well. Now, something to keep in mind, the water will fluctuate. So even if it looks okay when you get on that path, there could be another surge coming while you're on it. And that's why officials are just recommending you might want to stay off of that path altogether, at least for today. In the newsroom, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Veronica. The FDA is preparing to consider Pfizer's new pediatric COVID vaccine as well as a vaccine from Moderna for kids under 5 in a matter of weeks. It comes as new COVID cases are up. Daily infections are 4 times what they were at the start of April. ABC's M. Wynn has the latest.
This morning, parents anxious to vaccinate their babies and preschoolers may not have to wait much longer.
Good girl.
Pfizer says for children under 5, its 3-shot vaccine is 80% effective against symptomatic COVID-19. It's also just a tenth of the dose for those 12 and older.
That'll be up to the FDA in June to determine if this antibody response is sufficient enough to protect against severe illness and hospitalization.
On top of reviewing Pfizer's vaccine for America's youngest in mid-June, the FDA is also considering Moderna's vaccine for children under 6 years old. For now, Moderna is still testing a 3rd shot after data shows 2 shots for kids under 6 had an efficacy of just 51% or less. For some parents, an authorized vaccine can't come soon enough. This mom enrolling her 2 kids in the Pfizer trial.
If they had the placebo, they'll immediately get the treatment shot. I know many parents of children under 5 that are just really drained and exhausted and feel alone in this process of having to determine what is safe for their family.
It comes as nearly every state is seeing a rise in new infections and hospitalizations. For children, more than 107,000 tested positive for COVID last week, the highest since February. Now, Philadelphia schools and California's Berkeley Unified School District are reinstating their mask mandates.
As the cases were rising, I figured the school probably will do something.
Parents could see shots in arms for kids under 5 as soon as the end of June if the CDC and FDA sign off. Now, the CDC is again recommending everyone wear masks indoors. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
There are some front office changes for the Nuggets today. Team president Tim Connolly is leaving the team. He has agreed to a 5-year, $40 million deal with the Timberwolves, which is more than double what he was making for the Nuggets. Connolly will become one of the NBA's highest paid executives. Current Nuggets general manager Calvin Booth is expected to replace him. And the Broncos will be out at practice again today. Monday was the first time that rookies, free agents, and veterans all got to work together at the UC Health Training Center. They played the full offense against the defense, too, 11 on 11 for the first time. Quarterback Russell Wilson spoke about how he and new head coach Nathaniel Hackett are working to change the culture of the team.
You got to set the tone every day. There is no other option. If you want to win it all. You want to be the best in the world as a team and everything else. There's no other option. So that's what we have to do, and it's a wild obsession every day.
Yeah, Wilson said his friendship with Peyton Manning has also grown. Remember, they were rivals in Super Bowl 48. He says Manning has helped his family transition to Denver, and the two have spent time watching film together. So to the ice now, where the Avs are a win away from advancing in the playoffs again, thanks to a defiant performance from Nazem Kadri.
Yeah, of course, you remember he was facing threats for unintentionally hitting and knocking out a Blues goalie, but didn't seem to faze him. Kadri ended up with a hat trick, scoring 3 goals. 2 Blues players lost their cool at one point and hit Naz in the back. Both got penalties. In the end, the Avs won it 6-3. And after the game, Kadri did talk about those threats.
Unfortunately, I've been dealing with that for a long time. You know, that's sad to say, but that's just the fact of the matter. I'm getting good at just putting it in the rearview mirror. It's a big deal. I try to act like it's not, and just keep moving forward. So.
All right, Game 5 is back at Ball Arena tomorrow night. Puck drops at 6 p.m. The Avs now lead the series 3-1.
Yeah. Well, schools are letting out for summer. We have a free resource if you're looking for childcare over the break.
And Adams 14 is wrapping up the school year with uncertainty about next year. I'm sitting down with the district superintendent ahead of a meeting today that will officially strip the district's accreditation.